Good evening, everyone. I'm Sher, and you are watching Sher English Language Learning and Educational Complex. My today's topic is modal auxiliary verbs. So, first of all, let's discuss the definition of modal auxiliary verbs. Modal auxiliary verbs indicate modalities of actions. That modalities are ability, disability, capacity, incapacity, possibility or impossibility, permission, request, advice, obligation, order, wish, likelihood, suggestion, probability, expectation, etc. So let's have a look at the structure of adverb of frequency in a sentence. So in a sentence, first of all, we use subjects, and then we use modal verbs, and then we use first form of verb. After that, we use objects. So subjects are right here. You can have a look at he, she, they. That's third person. I, we is first person. You is second person. And singular or plural noun and pronoun are also subject. And finally, it is also a subject. And after that, there are modal verbs. They are can, could, may, might, will, shall, would, must, have, has, had to, and we can pronounce like these words have to, has to, and had to. Instead of v sound, we use sound in speaking. Have to. Similarly, instead of sound, we use has to sound. And then had to, instead of d, we use t, ta, had to. And then should, and finally we have the word, the last one, ought to. And what modalities they maintain? So let's have a look. Can, could are used for abilities or disabilities or capacity or request. And then may, might are used for likelihood, probability, or permission. And similarly, will, shall, would for intention or plan or request. Must, have, has, or had to are used for obligation or compulsion or order. Should is used for advice or suggestion. And ought to is used for sublime obligation or expectation. So let's go to the next slide. And here we have examples as well, right? So the first word is be able to. Be means like is, are, am, was, were, be, being, and being. So be able to and can give the similar meaning. So we can take an example. He is able to find any street in London. That is used for ability. So instead of is able to, we can use he can find any street in London. Both give the same meaning. And then can't, that story can't be true. Certainty that something is impossible. So that is because it is used with not. So that's why it shows impossibility. And for negative, we can use like similarly could or couldn't. And could is used here. I could play tennis when I was young. Let's go back. It is also used for ability and but past ability, ability in the past. Could you take me to Victoria Station? That's a request. You could take a taxi. That is a suggestion. And it may be quicker to travel by train. So they show here possibility because they are not sure, but it shows the possibility. May I come in? It is used here for formal request or permission. And it might be quicker to travel by train. It's again, it shows possibility. So might you can also use for past, but here it is used for like near future. And must You must be back at 10 o'clock. So here it shows obligation. And look at the snow. It must be cold outside. Certainty that something is true. It also show like affect as well. Have to, you have to be back at 10 o'clock. Obligation. It means you must. Have to, has to, had to. They give similar meaning to as must. And need to is also adverb of frequency. You need to study a lot. It shows also here obligation. But for negative, we don't use do or does. Instead, we use needn't or need not. You needn't have a university degree. Lack of obligation. It means it is not necessary or essential. Mustn't, must or mustn't. It must is same as has to, have to. So you mustn't drive without a license. So that is a prohibition. So the law does not permit it. So, and for negative, we see there we can use may not, might not, must not, could not, cannot. He is not able to. Uh, but with have to and has to, we use do or does. For example, they don't have to go outside after 10. Similarly, but with needn't is different than others. It just we use not after like needn't. It's usually not used in common language, but it is also considered an adverb of frequency. So that's all for now. I hope that you have learned lots of information. And in the end, if you have got any questions, any query, any confusion, please don't hesitate to write me in the comment box. I'll try my best to answer your questions. That's all for now. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye.